She only wanted peace. After the divorce, after the breakdown, Rachel thought moving back to her childhood home would be healing, but she didn't know what her mother buried beneath it or what was waiting to be remembered. Was small things. The cold in the basement, the mold that grew back no matter how many times she scrubbed, the way the shadows stretched longer than they should have. Then came the journal, hidden behind a wall. In it, her mother had written just one line over and over: "If the root wakes, you must bury your name." What root? What name? It sounds impossible, like something from a movie. But what if I told you the story you're about to hear is based on real accounts, pieced together from an abandoned police report, audio from a recovered voicemail, and notes found in a house that doesn't legally exist anymore? If you're brave enough to stay till the end, subscribe to Something Scary, and see for yourself why no one talks about what happened in that house. Rachel Calder wasn't afraid of ghosts. She was afraid of people, of breakups, of breakdowns, of the kind of grief that cracks the spine and leaves you curled in bed for days. So when her mother passed and left her a rotting, isolated house in rural New York, Rachel didn't hesitate. She left the city, left the noise, and moved into that old farmhouse where everything had once made sense. The moment she stepped inside, it was like the house breathed in. The hallway wallpaper was curling at the edges. There were cold spots, especially near the basement door, but she chalked it up to neglect. The house hadn't been lived in for over 7 years. What did she expect? But then came the mold. It started in the corners of the living room, black, fibrous. She'd clean it, bleach it, but it kept coming back, always in the same exact spot. Then came the knocking from beneath the floorboards. 3 soft knocks, only at night. Narrator slowly building tension, Rachel tried to rationalize it. Old pipes, animals in the walls. But one night, she dreamt of her mother, except it wasn't a dream. Her mother was sitting at the edge of her bed whispering something she couldn't understand. When she woke, the mold had spread across the ceiling. In the house, it felt colder than ever. It got worse. One afternoon, while hammering a loose panel in the hallway, her hammer punched straight through the wall, revealing a hollow space. Inside was a brick cavity. Behind the bricks, she found something wrapped in layers of decaying cloth, her mother's journal. The entries were manic, scribbled, desperate, page after page filled with one repeated sentence: "If the root wakes, you must bury your name." Rachel didn't understand. A root? What root? The last page of the journal simply read, "The house has a mouth, and it remembers." Rachel's childhood memories began flooding back. Her mother talking to herself in the basement. The strange cleaning rituals with salt and ash. The time Rachel tried to go into the crawl space and was slapped hard by her mother, who had never hit her before or after. Now, it all made sense. Her mother hadn't been sick. She'd been protecting something. Narrator slower, dread building. Pacing the basement was locked with a rusted chain and 3 bolts. Rachel found the keys buried under the floorboards of her mother's old bedroom, wrapped in hair. When she unlocked it, the basement door moaned open, like it hadn't moved in decades. The air was heavy, earthy, but it wasn't just the smell. There was something alive down there. In the far corner of the basement was a concrete slab. Underneath it, dirt, and under the dirt, something wooden. She dug, hands shaking, until her nails were raw. She found a door, buried flat beneath the earth. Its wood was dark and damp, but carved into the surface were symbols Rachel had never seen before. A language she didn't know, but somehow understood. The door didn't lead anywhere. It didn't open. But something beneath it began to knock once, then twice, then a third time, and Rachel ran. The next morning, she woke up on the floor with dirt in her mouth. Her phone had recorded a voicemail at 2:33 a.m. It was her mother's voice, whispering, "You were born there." Act, Rachel. In the ground. Not in a hospital. I buried the truth, but it's waking up. Act, she screamed. Threw her phone across the room. Later, while searching the attic for her birth certificate, she found another box sealed in wax. Inside were photos, baby photos. But not of her, of something else. Something ... Not quite human. Narrator final escalation tone that night. The house began to hum, not from electronics. Not from wind, but from beneath. Rachel grabbed her coat, her keys. But when she opened the front door, the woods outside were gone. There was nothing. Just darkness, stretching infinitely. Like the house was no longer in the real world. Like the root had woken, and the house had finally swallowed her whole. Narrator chilling final tone, Rachel Calder. Was reported missing 2 days later. Police found the house with its foundation split in half. Actual tree roots had burst through the basement floor, climbing up the walls, carving words into the ceiling. Bear your name. The house was condemned and demolished, but the ground still breathes. And at night, if you stand where the basement once was, you'll hear knocking. 1, 2, 3. Don't knock back.